Welcome to Leigh Dickey TV. Hit subscribe to follow along with the fun. Now let's get on to today's video. Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson's AEW debuts. I give you a commentary, my thoughts, and a review next. Alright, so Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debuted for AEW at this past All Out pay-per-view. And I don't want to talk about the entire All Out event itself, just because I think the review might be a bit too long, and there are plenty of reviews of the AEW All Out pay-per-view out there already. So I just want to talk about Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debuting, and I'll probably throw in a tidbit on Ruby Soho, the former Ruby Riott in WWE, debuting in the Casino Women's Battle Royal as well. Alright, so I want to do this in chronological order. I suppose I will give you the tidbit on Ruby Soho, the former Ruby Riott's AEW debut in the Casino Women's Battle Royale. So Ruby Soho debuted in the Casino Women's Battle Royale and won the whole thing. What I will say about the debut, I love the fact that she's in AEW, and I've always been a fan of hers anyhow. So, like, going back to her days in the WWE and even prior to that, like, I've always liked her work. So knowing that she's in AEW now is amazing. It's awesome. She's going to bolster that women's roster. Not that the roster isn't already stacked to begin with, but she's going to add another element of just awesome amazingness, as many descriptive words as I can find, to that women's roster. So she debuts, she won the whole thing, and thus gets a future title shot against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who coincidentally enough is Adam Cole's significant other. And we'll get to Adam Cole's debut in just a second, but the one thing I will say about, Ruby Soho, the former Ruby Riott, winning this Casino Women's Battle Royale, I think the ending was a bit long. I mean, it was Ruby Soho and Thunder Rosa, and they're going back and forth for what seems like forever, and then eventually Ruby Soho gets the better of Thunder Rosa and sort of just knocks her off the apron, because they were going back and forth on the apron for what seems like ages and an eternity. But she knocks her off the apron, I think with an enziguri, if I remember correctly. If not, somebody correct me down in the comments below. But she knocks her off the apron. She kind of just slinks and then falls to the floor. Ruby Soho wins. Her music hits. She celebrates. She hugged the referee, and I love that. The fact that she embraced the referee, and she seems so happy to be not only in the Casino Women's Battle Royale in AEW, but just sort of free and available to let herself be creative and be a wrestler again. I love the fact that Ruby Soho won the whole thing. I love the fact that she embraced and hugged the referee at the end. She looked great. Her work in the Casino Women's Battle Royale looked great. Her theme music is awesome. Her look is awesome. She looked amazing in that Casino Women's Battle Royale. I'm so happy that she won the thing. She looked so happy to just have the creative sort of freedom to just wrestle again, and to just be somewhere where her sort of input and her creativity and her work rate is going to be appreciated. So it's cool to see that. I love the fact that she won. The only thing I can say that's a bit of a knock against the end of this Casino Women's Battle Royale is that I think the way that she won was a bit long. I think that she could have just sort of thrown Thunder Rosa over the top rope and then been declared the winner. Maybe it wouldn't have been that big of a moment, and maybe that's why they went as long as they did. But I just think that the ending was a bit long. Otherwise, I love the fact that she won. I love the fact that she was there. And I love the fact that she gets that future women's title shot. I love seeing her again for a major promotion in North America. It's just, she's in a spot now where I think her talents and her work rate and her creativity as a performer is going to be appreciated again. And that's super cool. And I just love seeing that as a fan myself. So awesome that Ruby Soho debuted and has won this Casino Women's Battle Royale, and we'll get that future AEW Women's Championship match against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. On to Adam Cole's debuts. So, Kenny Omega successfully defended the AEW World Championship against Christian Cage at All Out and cuts promo right at the end. Figured that would be a suitable enough ending for a pay-per-view, but then some music hits and you look up at the Titantron and you see Adam Cole's name. Now, there was speculation leading up to All Out that Adam Cole's WWE contract had expired. Clearly that was the case, because Adam Cole came out and he was wearing a t-shirt that said All Elite, baby, of course, and, you know, sends the crowd into a frenzy. Comes out to this massive pop, and you don't know which way it's going to go at first. So he's kind of like slowly making his way to the ring. Yes, he's soaking it all in and like the reaction from the fans, as you should. And then he gets to the ring, he does his trademark pose, the Adam Cole baby, and then sticks his hands in the air, sticks his arms in the air rather, bounces off canvas, and then he gives Jungle Boy a super kick, and then instantly everybody embraces Cole, right? So you have Young Bucks, the Good Brothers, Kenny, anybody that's there, instantly like heel turn. The Young Bucks kiss either side of Adam Cole's face, like a Sheik's, and it's just, he starts cutting a promo, and he's story time for Adam Cole, baby, and he just, we're the best in the business, and I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically the gist of it. Who's gonna beat us? And then, you know, like the crowd is still like in a frenzy because of Cole's debut, and then you hear Bryan Danielson's music, and I'll get to that in just a second. So Bryan Danielson's music hit. He comes out to an even louder pop than Adam Cole got. I think that is on par with the pop that CM Punk got only a couple weeks ago when he debuted, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and just I'd say that that's on par. Some people might say that Punk's, you know, pop was loud, crowd pop was louder when he debuted. Some people might say that Bryan Danielson, pardon me, his pop was louder at All Out, but I mean, I think they rival each other and they're pretty much on par. You can agree or disagree with me. If either or, drop your comments in the comment section down below. But I think, like, so Bryan Danielson's music hits, he hits the ring, and of course, like Jurassic Express is down there, Jungle Boy, Marco Stunt, and Luchasaurus. So he's on the side of Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. The Elite is there, and then this brawl ensues. And to go off the air, like, Bryan Danielson hits that trademark running knee. You know, the Elite powder out of the ring, and Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, and Bryan Danielson celebrate. So Bryan Danielson, Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, they're all in the ring celebrating. You cut to a shot of the Elite sort of retreating to the back and licking their wounds. As cool as Bryan Danielson's debut was right at the end of All Out, you know, to go on top of Adam Cole's debut, I think it sort of spoiled, now this is just my opinion, I think it spoiled Adam Cole's debut a bit, just because, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that one is more important than the other. They're both amazing performers and amazing wrestlers. But I think the crowd is more on the side of Bryan Danielson. So you hear that Bryan Danielson, the former Daniel Bryan, is in AEW, and you see that following up right after Adam Cole's debut. The pop is enormous, and it's not even, to me, it's not even close. Like, yes, it was a huge pop for Adam Cole, but like ructions for Bryan Danielson. The roof, I'm surprised it stayed on the venue, because that place came unglued with yes chants all over the place. Now, like, again, not saying that one is more important than the other. I think, and just my opinion, I honestly think that Bryan Danielson's debut right after Adam Cole kind of spoiled Adam Cole's debut a bit, right? And it just, I hadn't seen any of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson's post All Out media scrum. Maybe I'll go back and watch some of it, but I think that one debut would have been enough. However, it's their biggest event so far ever, if not of the year, so why not have them both come out? And I know that I heard, you know, some of Adam Cole's post All Out media scrum where he said, look, I had an amazing 4-year run with the WWE, right? He's referring to them as, well, referring to the WWE as them, and basically he became a free agent rather quickly. He did sign an extension to finish off that angle with Kyle O'Reilly, but he, I guess, wanted to go to AEW. He wanted to be in a place where I guess he felt like he could flourish or, you know, be more comfortable. So I guess that's what he did. Like, he signed with AEW, and there you go, right? That whole thing at All Out transpired. He debuted, Bryan Danielson debuted, and like everybody went home happy, including myself, even though I think that Bryan Danielson's debut at the end of All Out kind of spoiled Adam Cole's debut, because the pop for Bryan Danielson was huge. It's not that there wasn't speculation on the interwebs for both men leading up to this event, but I think, you know, as cool as the whole thing was right at the end, I think that having Bryan Danielson debut directly after Adam Cole kind of spoiled Adam Cole's debut. But I suppose, you know, like the succeeding All Out and Rampage episodes will have aired after this episode goes up, or sorry, prior to this episode going up on Pinfall, the Pro Wrestling Podcast, and Leigh Dickey TV, the YouTube channel. But I will go back and watch those and see what basically happens post All Out, just so I can get a sort of clear mental picture in my mind. There they are, there you have it, my thoughts, a commentary, and a bit of a review on the AEW debuts of Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, and Ruby Soho. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this podcast. Please do comment, like, share, and subscribe right here to Leigh Dickey TV on YouTube. Find the Beats and Speaks podcast, Pinfall, a Pro Wrestling Podcast, and Yo Nostalgia on your favorite podcast apps and players of choice. Leave us 5-star ratings and reviews there as well, please, and thank you. But this concludes another video. Thank you all for watching. I have been Leigh Dickey for Leigh Dickey TV, the Beats and Speaks podcast, Yo Nostalgia, and Pinfall, a Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am signing off. Take care, and we will talk to you later. All right, Leigh Dickey signing off. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to Leigh Dickey TV. New episodes are available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe to follow along with the fun.